Welcome to the ultimate compilation of expensive cars getting wrecked. Let's race in. From drivers being complete idiots to not knowing how to handle high horsepower, welcome to the ultimate compilation of expensive cars getting wrecked. Let's race in. Number 1, wrecked. So, this guy in a Lambo Huracan Performante is revving up his engine, and all the car fanatics are gathered around to soak in the beauty of this supercar. But then he speeds off, and, you guessed it, loses control. He somehow dodges the parked cars, but just when everyone thought the drama was over, he crashes straight into a wall and sideswipes a tree. A few minutes ago, people were drooling over this masterpiece, and now they're just standing there, watching in horror, wondering how much of a hit that beauty just took. Number 2, wall tap. This guy was pulling off stunts in his Ferrari, and everything was going perfectly until it wasn't. Number 3, one of a kind. Edmondi, a race car driver out of LA, is infamous for his collection of pricey cars and his wild stunts. But earlier this year, one of those stunts cost him big when he crashed his brand new McLaren Senna on an empty street. Mondi, eager to show off his shiny new toy, decided to do burnouts on cold tires. Bad idea. After the burnouts, he straightened the car, lost control, and bam, smashed into the side of a Lexus dealership. In seconds, his millions of dollars of automotive glory turned into a very expensive pile of scrap. Or Lotus Evija. At the 2024 Goodwood Festival of Speed, a Lotus Evija, one of the most expensive and third fastest cars in the world, was definitely stealing the show. But at the start of the hill climb, the electric hypercar barely made it a few feet before crashing nose first into a hay barrier. It turns out that the driver turned off the traction control, instantly sending over 1,000 pounds of torque to the wheels, causing the car to spin out. So, with all that power and no control, the result, it looked absolutely ridiculous. Number 5, Top Gear. Even though Top Gear was scripted and carefully monitored, not everything went according to plan. Case in point, Richard Hammond crashing an insanely expensive Rimac Nevera. The supercar skidded off the road and rolled several times. Hammond got injured, but made a full recovery, and went on to joke about it on the Grand Tour. Number 6, make it worthwhile. This Lamborghini Huracan driver finds an open lane and decides to floor it. Bad idea. He loses control, but somehow manages to dodge a van and just clips the curb. At this point, you'd think he'd stop, count his blessings, and hit the brakes. But nope, he keeps going, loses control again, and this time takes the van with him. Both cars doing a full 180. Now he's on the hook for the van's damages too. Number 7, hold nerves. Driving a Ferrari 812, this guy got way too excited when he found an open lane. He decided to test the car's abilities, totally underestimating his own. He lost control and slammed into the side of a bridge. Thankfully, that cyclist got out of the way just in time. Number 8, Mercury Comet. This guy spent more than $200,000 modifying his vintage Mercury Comet, pouring his heart, soul, and wallet into it. But one day, he's driving down a busy road when his brakes fail as a red light approaches. He tries to swerve, but with nowhere to go, he hits the back of a minivan. Thankfully, no one got seriously hurt, but watching a car you have spent a fortune on get wrecked? That's a pain no insurance can fix. Number 9. Road rage. A Tesla zipped past a Dodge Challenger on a busy road, and that didn't sit right with the Challenger driver. So naturally, he floors it, trying to catch up. Just as he's about to overtake, he rear-ends another car. Moral of the story, always keep your cool on the road. Number 10. Drag race. A supercar and sport bike in drag race, what could go wrong? Well, the race started fine, but a few hundred feet later, the Lambo was a wreck. We may not know what happened, but it's safe to say the motorbike definitely won. Number 11. Convey. A convoy of expensive exotic cars was cruising on a 2-lane highway, everyone taking their time, until an impatient Ferrari driver tried to overtake out of turn. He crashed into a Lambo, which then hit a van and flipped it over. Number 12. Pro or no. Racetrack, cheering crowd, and you'd think these drivers were pros. Well, pros make sure their tires are warmed up before racing, unless they want to end up like that guy. Number 13. Brand new. This guy buys a brand new Ferrari 488 and suddenly thinks he's a pro, turning off traction and stability control. His overconfidence cut the trip short, and the new car didn't even make it back home. Number 14. Bonnet bump. Watching supercars in action is thrilling, but it can also be heartbreaking, like watching this Lamborghini T-Bone, another exotic car. That's the kind of heartbreak you feel deep in your wallet. Number 15. Airborne. It was a lazy Sunday afternoon, and Australian football fans were leaving the stadium when a rare red Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale from the other side of the road lost control and nosedived right into a Nissan Navara on Melbourne's packed streets. The hit was so hard, it sent the big Navara airborne, landing it on another car's hood. Fortunately, no one in any of the 3 cars got seriously hurt. Number 16. Highway races. This BMW M3 was racing on the highway alongside other supercars, reaching speeds of above 180 miles per hour. Sure, racing is a thrill, but anything can go wrong in a split second. The BMW lost control and went flying. It hit the median and just took off. Miraculously, the people inside lived, even with the car getting wrecked at such high speed. Number 18. Shelby Daytona. This more than $2 million expensive Shelby Daytona was turning like the driver thought the car's shine alone would stop traffic for them. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Number 19. Lane feud. This rare Bugatti owner figured his expensive ride gave him the right to cut lanes whenever he wanted, but the BMW driver wasn't having it. Instead of backing down, he floored it, and the Bugatti wasn't giving up either. The result? They both crashed. It's a good thing the BMW driver had a dash cam, because all that damage to the Bugatti is totally the Bugatti owner's fault. Number 20. Convenient. Here's the wreckage of 2 Lamborghinis that decided street racing in Denver was a good idea. Conveniently for the firefighters, the crash happened right outside the fire station. So, no flaming Lambos today. Number 21. New truck. Another show-off bites the dust. This guy, driving a Shelby Mustang GT500, tried to drift but ended up losing control and smashing into a brand new parked truck. Just another example of why high horsepower and flashy wannabes don't mix well. Number 22. Traffic. This speedy Lamborghini didn't quite make it to wherever it was rushing off to, as it crashed straight into a minivan switching lanes. Number 23. Shelby Cobra. The lads tried to leave in style in a vintage Shelby Cobra, but the not-so-glamorous sound of a car crash quickly followed the roaring engine. Number 24. Scary Adventures. Racing a supercar didn't go as planned for these guys, who ended up crashing into a parked semi and turning their precious ride into scrap metal. Number 25. Pricey Pile Up. One of the priciest car crashes ever happened on a highway in Japan. 14 supercars were wrecked when a convoy headed to a motor festival went south, all because one driver tried to overtake and started a chain of collisions. Number 26. Handbrake. Another supercar owner put his trust in a valet. Everything seemed fine as the guy stepped out, feeling all cool, but the valet forgot one tiny detail: the handbrake. Cue the disaster. Number 27. Too excited. At the car meet, the Mercedes driver just couldn't handle the attention the Lambo was getting. So naturally, they drove right into a sign pole. Problem solved. Number 28. Upside Down. Another supercar where the speed got the best of the driver's control, resulting in a wrecked McLaren F1 resting upside down in the ditch. Number 29. Ridiculous. Not only did these guys lose control and crash their car, they somehow managed to T-bone the only other expensive car on the street. Impressive in the worst way. Number 30. Off-roading. The Mercedes G-Class sure is a sturdy partner for off-road adventures, but trying to climb a steep hill with it, that didn't end up for these folks how they hoped for. Number 31. Bad Day. Of all the cars in traffic, somehow, 3 luxury cars managed to crash into each other. The Audi was the cheapest one involved, so just imagine the repair bills. Number 33. Hot Wheels. Okay, this crash isn't just one supercar, it's a lorry carrying more than a dozen of them. Easily the priciest wreck on this list, don't you think? Number 34. Street Racers. These guys must have thought they were in a video game racing down city streets. The first car made it through, but the Audi Q7 lost control and smashed into a pile of parked cars, damaging a whole lineup of expensive rides in the process. Number 35. Neighbor's car. This pricey driver tried to pull into the driveway very carefully, but accidentally stepped on the gas, wrecking both the neighbor's car and their own. Number 36. Supercharged Viper. A supercharged Viper lost control when the driver tried to floor it and ended up crashing into a tree on the median. The cameraman caught everything except the actual crash. Imagine having to tell the owner to do it again because the shot wasn't good enough. Number 37. Split. A black car made a questionable turn right into the path of a speeding Lamborghini Aventador. The Lambo driver tried to dodge it, but it was too late. A tiny bump was all it took to send the Aventador crashing into a wall and splitting in two. Number 38. Speed bump. So, this Hyundai is waiting for its turn, but doesn't bother checking for traffic on the other side, where a Lamborghini is zooming in. The Lambo driver slams the brakes, but the Hyundai driver, nah, keep on going. Not only does the Hyundai crash into the Lambo, but it actually drives over it like it's a speed bump. Imagine explaining to your insurance that you just ran over a Lamborghini. Number 39. Freeway entry. A teenage couple in a Mustang, driving like they were in a Fast and Furious movie, didn't realize the cars ahead were slowing down for the exit. The driver hit the brakes a little too late and slammed right into the back of a custom-built McLaren. Ouch. Number 40. Bugatti speedboat. A group of guys spotted a Bugatti Veyron on the road, once the fastest car in the world. But they ended up filming a lot more than just a fancy ride. They caught the moment the driver drove this insanely expensive car straight into a lake. Number 41. Impatient. Impatience got the best of this driver, who tried a dangerous overtake and ended up paying for it with one seriously costly crash. Number 42. Monaco. Monaco is the playground for the rich, where every other car is worth more than a house. So, when a crash happens, it's never cheap. This one, right in front of a casino, involved a Bentley Azure that plowed into a pile of luxury cars, damaging 4 of them. What is the damage to each car? Yeah, about the price of a brand new supercar. But is the couple responsible? They didn't seem stressed at all. It must be nice. Number 43. Negative aura. At a car meet with his sleek black Lamborghini, this guy thought he'd look cool if he stepped onto the car and posed for photos. Well, he ended up looking like a total fool when he cracked the windshield in the process. Like, dude, was having a beautiful, expensive car not enough? What was he even thinking? Number 44. Hydroplane. A highway patrol trooper was staking out for speedsters when the dashcam caught a car spinning out of control on the wet road before crashing into the side. Another day, another wreck. Number 45. Drifting. This guy in a Mercedes AMG thought he was too cool trying to drift on the street. He lost control, hit the curb, caught some air, and sideswiped a tree with his girlfriend in the passenger seat. Oh, and the cops showed up too. Looks like he's losing his license and a whole lot of cash. Number 46. GTR 35. The fire crew rolled up to handle a blaze, only to find the rear end of a beautiful GTR up in flames. They managed to put it out, but the car totally wrecked. On the bright side, it did get a custom black paint job. Number 47. Fatal crash. 3 teens, caught on a helicopter night cam, found an unlocked Maserati and took it for a joyride. When the cops tried to pull them over, they sped off, but it ended tragically. They crashed. We won't show the moment of impact, as all 3 lost their lives with the car splitting in 2. Number 48. Overtaking. This Lambo was weaving between lanes, trying to show off, but having a fast car doesn't make you a good driver. He learned that the hard and expensive way when he lost traction and spun out, crashing hard. Number 49. Unlucky ride. 3 Porsche 911s in different colors were racing when the white one tried to overtake and lost control, hitting another car and spinning into a poor cyclist who was just minding his own business. Luckily, the cyclist wasn't seriously hurt. Number 50. Keep running. Empty roads and supercars are always a tempting combination for speeding. But pushing beyond your limits, it never ends well. I love how the runner just ignored the wreck and kept going on. No time for fools destroying beautiful machines. Number 51. SSC Tuatara. What you're looking at is the wreckage of one of the most expensive and fastest cars in the world. It's not so beautiful when it's driven by fools who end up smashing it. Number 52. Romantic. After a car meet, this guy thought letting his girlfriend take the wheel would be fun. She didn't quite get the hang of turning while flooring the gas, lost control, and ended up hitting an oncoming car. Romantic, right? Number 53. Valet error. If you've got a super expensive car and actually care about it, maybe keep your ego in check and park it yourself. Trusting a valet might leave you with a story like this Lamborghini now wrecked. That valet's definitely out of a job and probably in debt. Number 54. Cool down. No one knows how this Mercedes-AMG GTR ended up in the water, but someone should tell the owner, this is not how you cool down a car. Number 55. Police kiosk. A convoy of supercars in India was turning heads left and right. Then the driver of a Lamborghini Gallardo decided he wanted everyone's attention, including those who weren't already gawking. So, what does he do? He tries to speed off, but he completely loses control and smashes into a police kiosk. Now, this Gallardo is one of only 6 in the world, and while it wasn't completely totaled, the repair bill probably cost more than a brand new car for the rest of us mere mortals. Number 56. Shelby GT 500. Driving a fancy car makes you look cool, sure, but nothing's more embarrassing than failing to handle it and crashing into someone else's ride. Number 57. Warsaw, Poland. This guy in a fancy Lamborghini Huracan Evo cranked the gas pedal to make a right turn onto an empty street, but it didn't go as planned. Let's just say he learned that higher horsepower doesn't always mean better control. The Lambo smashed against the curb, bounced into the air, and, well, it didn't land smooth. Number 58. Red light. Stopping at a red light behind a Lamborghini Gallardo, a man got out his camera to record the supercar when it sped off. But he ended up recording something more interesting. When the Gallardo driver floored it while making a turn, the tires lost traction, and next thing you know, the Lambo crashed right between 2 other cars waiting at the light. This is what happens when people who have no clue how to handle a supercar try to drive like professionals. And that's a wrap on pricey crashes. Did you ever crash your car? Tell us your story in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.